Okay, Algebra 1 students, in this video today we will be learning our third and last linear form of an equation. Please copy this heading down in your notes if you would please. Write down standard form of a linear equation. Write down lesson 5.6 and be sure and include today's date so that your notes are organized, okay? Standard form of a linear equation, lesson 5.6, and be sure and include today's date so you can tell by reading the heading that the form we're going to learn today is called standard form, okay? Standard form. Now, I think it'd be very smart to start off by reviewing the two linear equation forms that we have already studied. Please copy this information down so that you have a nice review in your notes. Okay, here we go. Write this down, please. Put number 1, slope-intercept form. Okay, and then write down an example off to the side, please. There's an example of a linear form. It's when y is all by itself and everything else is on the other side. Did I say linear form? Sorry, slope-intercept form. So this equation here is a linear equation, and it's written in slope-intercept form. Okay? Copy that down, please. If I'm going too fast, just pause the video. Next example, or the next form, the point-slope form. Point-slope form. Okay? And here's an example of that. Copy this down, please. And then write down this example. You have y, then a constant term, then an equal sign, then a constant term, then a parentheses, and inside the parentheses you have x, and then a constant term. Okay, please copy that down. There's an example of a linear equation. This is a linear equation. This is a linear equation written in point-slope form. Got it? Point-slope form. So having said that, just a quick little side note. Remember, anytime you are given a linear equation written in point-slope form, if I asked you to tell me one point that the line passes through, this is your y value. Change the sign of it and put it here. This is an x value. How do I know that? Because remember the formula is y minus y m x minus x. So this is your y value. This is your x value. Okay? This is your m right here. Alright? So if I said, hey, take this linear equation right here that's written in point-slope form and tell me one point the line passes through. Change the sign of this number, put it here. Change the sign of this number and put it here. And then if I asked you for the slope of this line, it's right here. So the slope would be -5. You see, guys, that's why this form is called the point-slope form, because you can look at it and get out a point and get out the slope. Okay, so there's a quick review of the two forms that we've learned so far. Alright, now today we're going to look at standard form. Alright, let's start off by talking about what standard form looks like, and then move into some problems. Okay, so please copy this example down. It's really, really, really simple. Your x term comes first. Your y term comes next. Then your equal sign, and then a constant term. There you go. Got it? That's simple. I cannot make it any simpler than that. Your x term comes first. Then your y term comes second. Then your equal sign. Then your constant term. So before this class period is over, you're going to be able to take an equation that looks like this and convert it over so it looks something like this right here, okay? Now, some books allow for decimals and fractions. I don't. So here you must have a whole number. Here you must have a whole number. And of course you're going to say, Mr. Error, there's nothing there. Well, there's a 1 there even though you can't see it, okay? And you must have a whole number here. In my standard form equations, I want you guys to have no fractions. And I want you guys to have no decimals. Okay, got it? Okay, so really guys, I A would be 3, your B would be -1, and your C would be 15. But you don't have to learn all that. I'm just simply saying to you that this is standard form right here. Alright, now to be honest with you, it's simple to learn, but it's not easy to do. So because of that, I'm going to give you some steps that will make this a little easier, okay? So I was showing you what standard form is. X term first, then Y term, then equal sign, then constant term. Now I want to give you some steps that will make writing a linear equation in standard form a little easier. Now I'm probably going to go way too fast and you have to pause the video, okay? But that's alright, and here they are, 3 steps. Step 1, you should simplify both sides of the equation completely as far as you can, okay? Step 2, move all of your X and Y terms to the left side. Move all of the constant terms to the other side, or if you want to put the word right there, that's fine, to the right side. And then simplify again if necessary. And then lastly, eliminate fractions and decimals. Okay? If you'll use these 3 steps, writing a linear equation in standard form is really quite simple. I mean, I know I said earlier it can be challenging, but if you'll follow these steps, it'll be quite simple. Okay? So let's practice these steps with some problems. I'm going to move on, so if you're not done copying this down, please pause the video. Okay, let's take a look at problem number 1. Let's start off with an easy one, okay? Take this linear equation, please copy this in your notes, and I would like you to write this in standard form. Okay? Anytime I'm going too fast, please pause the video. Step 1, simplify both sides completely. Well, there's no like terms over here I can combine. There's nothing over here, so step 1's done. Step 2, move your X and Y terms to the left side and your constant terms to the right side. Well, this is my left side over here. Here's my equal sign, here's my right side. X and Y is already over here, so bring your 7 over, make it a positive 7. And now we're looking pretty good. There's my X term, there's my Y term, and there's a 7. Last step, eliminate or get rid of fractions or decimals. Well, I don't see any fractions or decimals, and we're done. Now there is one step I probably should have put on there. I didn't. To me, it's common sense that if your X term's not first, let's pretend it looked like this. Let's pretend you had it like this. Your Y term was first and your 4X was second. Obviously, you've got to switch those two and put your positive 4X first and your negative Y second, because I did teach you already. The X term comes first, then the Y term, then the equal sign, then the constant term. So technically I should have put that in your steps, and I didn't. I apologize, but don't forget to always have the X term written first. So last step, eliminate fractions or decimals. I don't see any, and we're finished. Pretty simple. Alright, let's try it. And by the way, this would also be acceptable if you went through and changed all the signs and had your 4X negative, your Y term positive, and your 7 negative. Either one of those 2 answers to me would be acceptable. I don't care about the signs, okay? Alright, some teachers do. They like the first term to be positive. Excuse me. It's not a big deal to me, okay? Let's try a more difficult problem. Let's try one. Sorry, like this. Y equals positive 5/2 X plus 9, or positive 9. Now, obviously that's written in slope-intercept form. I want you to write that in standard form. So here we go. Step 1, simplify both sides completely. Well, guys, I can't simplify this side. I cannot simplify this side. So step 2, get your X and Y terms on one side and your constant terms on the other. Well, my Y term is here. Bring your 5/2 X over, make it negative. So Y negative 5/2 X equals 9. Look, step 2 is done. My X's and Y's are on one side and my constant terms on the other side. Next, simplify both sides. Well, I can't simplify anything. This cannot be simplified. This cannot be simplified. So lastly, eliminate fractions. What is the denominator of your fraction that you want to get rid of? 2. Remember how to do this? So we multiply the entire equation by 2. Very carefully. 2 times y is cosine. Positive times a negative is negative. 2 times 5 halves. 2 times 1 times 5 halves, your 2's cancel, leaving you with 5 over 1 or 5. And then 2 times 9 is 18. Now we're almost finished, okay? Don't forget your x term should come first. So negative 5x comes first, your y term comes second, and your constant term is over here on the right side. That is an awesome, perfect answer. Or you can change all the signs and write it like this if you want to. It's totally up to you. Either one of those are acceptable. Do you understand? Let's do 2 more and we're totally finished. What if I said to you guys that a line passes through this point here? It has a slope of this. And I said, write the linear equation of that line in standard form. Write the equation of the line that passes through this point and has this slope in standard form. Now, forget standard form for a second. Okay? Forget standard form. Let's just write the equation. Then we can convert it over to standard form, okay? We know what to do when you're given a point and a slope. Remember your model that you use. So let's use our model and let's write our linear equation, alright? Y minus, and your y is a negative 8, so y minus a negative 8 is y positive 8. Your m is 10. And then x minus, your x is 5, so x minus 5. There. We wrote the linear equation. Now let's write it in standard form. Got it? What's step 1? Simplify both sides completely. You cannot simplify the left side, but the right side you can. Take your 10 and multiply it through. 10 times x, 10x. 10 times negative 5, negative 50. Got it? Step 2. Get your x's and y's on the left side, your constant terms on the right side, and then simplify. So I'm going to bring my 10x over and make it a negative 10x. My y will stay here. I'm going to bring my 8 over, make it a negative 8, and simplify negative 58. Now there's no more simplifying I can do, so I'm finished there. Next step is eliminate fractions or decimals. I don't see any. We're finished. Your x term is first if you want to write your answer like this. I have no problem with that. Either one of those 2 answers are acceptable. Okay? So you start off writing your linear equation like you've been taught, and then convert it over to standard form. Let's try one more and we're finished. Alright, one more. Okay guys, I want you to write a linear equation of the line that passes through these 2 points. Write the linear equation of the line that passes through these 2 points, but I want you to write your answer in standard form, okay? So here we go. First of all, let's forget about standard form until we write the linear equation. Then we can convert it over, okay? So here's my model that I use. Y minus y equals mx minus x, okay? Now, obviously, I don't have the slope and I need it. So let's find the slope real quick down here. M equals y minus y over x minus x, okay? So my first y is negative 3. So negative 3 minus 2. So negative 3 minus 2. X minus x, my first x is negative 3. And then minus x minus 7. Negative 3 minus 7. Alright, let's see what we get. You owe me 3, you owe me 2 more, it's negative 5. You owe $3, you owe 7 more, you owe 10. A negative over a negative is positive, and 5 over 10 reduces to 1/2. So now I know my slope for the linear equation is 1/2. Alright, let's continue on. Now, look guys, it doesn't matter which point you use for this model, but you only want one. So cross one of them off. I'm going to cross this one off. It doesn't matter which one you use. So here's my m, here's my x, here's my y. y minus a negative 3. Y minus a negative 3 is y plus 3. Here's m positive 1/2. X minus x. X is a negative 3, so x minus a negative 3 is a positive 3. And now, let's go ahead. We've written our linear equation. Check, we're finished if that's all I asked you to do. But I'm going to ask you to write it in standard form. So step 1, simplify both sides. Okay, left side cannot be simplified. Right side, multiply your 1/2 through. 1/2 x plus 3/2. Step 2, move all of your x and y terms to the left side and your constant terms to the right side. So bring your 1/2 over and make it a negative 1/2. Your y term's already on the left side. Bring that over and bring your positive 3 over and make it a negative 3. Alright? So I have 3/2 minus 3. That's going to give you a negative 3/2. Let me show you how I did that quickly, okay? Positive 3/2. Negative 3 over 1. Common denominator's 2. So this becomes negative 6 over 2. Okay? 3 over 1, change the 1 to a 2, 3 becomes a 6. So you have a positive 3. You have a common denominator of 2. A positive 3 and a negative 6 is a negative 3. A negative over a positive is negative 3/2. Negative 3/2. Alright? So, step 2 is complete. I've moved my stuff around. I've simplified. Last step, get rid of fractions. Well, I have a denominator of 2 and a denominator of 2. So I'm going to multiply everything by 2. Now, some of you are probably thinking, Mr. Earhart, what if I would have had a 3 and a 2? The numbers are different. Well, then in your mind, you think of the common denominator, and that's what you use to multiply the equation by. For example, if this was a 3 and this was a 2, what's a common denominator for 3 and 2? 6. So you would multiply the entire equation by 6. Now in this case, we don't have to worry about that because my fractions have the same number, 2 and 2, so multiply everything by 2. 2 over 1 times 1 over 2 is negative 1. 2 times y is positive 2. And 2 times negative 3/2 is negative 3. There, we're finished. If you want to change the signs and put a positive x and a negative 2y and a positive 3, no problem. Either one of those two answers are sufficient. Guys, I hope this makes sense. I hope this helps you. This is the standard form of a linear equation. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call or email.